to day 1 of budget-friendly, healthy vegetarian recipes. In this series we'll be cooking quick, easy and healthy recipes with simple and budget-friendly ingredients. Each day we'll have breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner and dessert. Today I thought I'd start with some cozy recipes because we don't have to get out of our comfort zone on day 1. So let's start with pancakes. But let's make it healthier. I know you're thinking banana because that's where the fit crowd always goes to, but I am not fit and I don't like bananas, so I am choosing the whole flour vegan pancake route.
Mix half a cup of soy milk with 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. The soy milk will get thicker, don't be alarmed, it's okay. Next, add half a cup of applesauce and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then add 1 cup of whole flour and half a teaspoon of baking powder. Gently mix everything together. Once your frying pan is hot, pour about 1/4 of a cup of batter per pancake and let it cook until you see bubbles. Then flip them over and let them cook for an extra minute or 2. I do recommend you cook them on medium heat or else they'll burn. These are pretty good like this, but you can easily change the flavor by using flavored oat flour. Finish with some peanut butter and you'll have an amazing breakfast.
I love eating leftover dinner for lunch, but when I don't have anything left from last night, I think the best way to keep it healthier is to keep it simple. And today we'll make a vegan cream cheese bagel. Let's start with the bagel, and yes, we're making the bagel, and all we need are 3 ingredients.
In a bowl, mix 1 cup of soy yogurt, 1 cup of self-rising flour, and half a teaspoon of salt. Not all yogurts and flours are made equally, so at this point, we'll slowly add flour 1 tablespoon at a time until we get the consistency right. I ended up adding 4 tablespoons, but you can add more or less if needed. Then line a baking sheet with baking paper. Add a little bit of flour to a plate and then place there half of the dough. Mold the dough into 2 bagels and transfer them to a baking sheet. Heat the oven to 250 degrees Celsius, it is the highest setting in my oven. I just spread some seeds over the bagels because I had some laying around. These are hemp seeds and sunflower seeds. I think they are chia seeds. But if you don't have them, don't worry, it's optional. Bake the bagels for 20 to 25 minutes. Meanwhile, let's make the cream cheese. I know you can buy it at the store, but the idea here is to be aware of the ingredients in your food. But also, it's often more expensive to buy processed food. Let's get my tiny food processor. I got this one from Lidl and it was pretty inexpensive. I don't think you really need it here, you could use a fork, but it makes your job easier. And as a stick blender and in a food processor, and it works better for smaller quantities like this. Crumble in 250 grams of tofu, 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast, 1.5 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and half a teaspoon of salt. Process until creamy. Okay, we have the basic cream cheese. We're going to flavor it with 1 teaspoon of garlic paste and 2 teaspoons of oregano. Mine comes in this bag because this was gifted to me. And slice some cucumber or some lettuce or whatever greens you find in your local shop. Spread some cream cheese on the bagel and then top it with the veggies. I'm going with cucumber. You can leave it at that, but some sweet chili sauce will make it perfect. I've made a version of these Mocha almond energy balls and I had to make them again here because they are beyond easy to make, and also chocolate and coffee are a match made in heaven. Let's get our food processor again and add 1/4 of a cup of rolled oats, 1/4 of a cup of peanut butter, 1/4 of a cup of chopped dates, and 1/4 of a cup of chopped almonds. Process until crumbly. Mix 1 teaspoon of instant coffee with 1 tablespoon of water and add it to the food processor, along with 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder and 1 tablespoon of soy milk. Mix until you have a sticky dough. Form the mixture into balls, I'd say about between 6 to 8. I know these are not cheap ingredients, but we're using small quantities, and buying the snacks would probably be more expensive. Also, I don't buy expensive medjool dates, I get the regular, not very expensive ones.
For this first day, I want you to film recipes that will get you the carbs, the protein, and the good fats you need, but still feel cozy and comfy. And I don't know about you, but for me, cozy means potatoes. So we're making a potato and tofu bake.
Cut the potatoes into cubes or whatever shape you want. I'm not your boss, really. The same goes for the tofu. Place them on an oven-safe dish and season with 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons dried oregano, and 1 tablespoon olive oil. Mix until the tofu and potatoes are well coated with the seasoning. Bake at 200 degrees Celsius, stirring the tofu and potatoes halfway for 60 minutes or until crispy and golden. It will cook faster if you cut the potatoes very thinly and spread everything on an even layer on a baking sheet. And there you go, dinner is ready.
I know this dessert is not supposed to be healthy, but this one sort of is, and you can have it for breakfast if you want to. We're making a healthy apple crumble.
Cut 4 apples into chunks. In a baking dish, mix the apples, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger powder, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius, mixing occasionally. It will burn otherwise. Meanwhile, to our tiny food processor, we'll add 1/3 of a cup of chopped dates and 1/3 of a cup of nuts and seeds, whatever you have at hand. I'm using pecans, almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and hemp seeds. Process until crumbly. Then, add 1 cup of oats. Should just mix them in with a fork, but I used the processor because I was feeling lazy. I would suggest you add 1/4 of a cup of peanut butter to this mix. It will turn out better, but it will add some cheeky calories. Spread the crumble mix on top of the apples and bake at 200 degrees Celsius until golden. And there you go, you can have it with yogurt, ice cream, or even by itself.
I hope you enjoyed day 1. I'll link day 2 here once it's out, but for now, YouTube thinks you will enjoy this video. And you can subscribe here and like there, you know it helps. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon, and thank you for watching until the end. That is very cool of you. Happy Vlogmas and see you on the next one.